let's start off by talking about remakes. Remakes are nothing new right now. You know, there's a lot of remakes going on in pop culture in general, but also remakes are having a bit of a renaissance in anime at the moment. You know, there's shows like Trigun Stampede, the new Rurouni Kenshin, Urusei Yatsura, Shaman King Flowers. These are all remakes that are going on at the moment that are pretty popular, but there's a bit of controversy going around a new remake that was just announced, the One Piece. Now, the One Piece is going to be a remake of One Piece, and what's so interesting about this is normally when a remake goes on, it happens years or even decades after the original series, so, you know, the audience can kind of get some breathing room, the production can kind of figure out what didn't work the first time around, but the One Piece is going to air concurrently with the original One Piece, and that's not usually how things go, and some people think that's a little disrespectful to the original series to have both of these kind of dueling One Piece productions going on at the same time. Now, the One Piece is being done by WIT Studio, who are great people. You know, they do beautiful work. They did the first 3 seasons of Attack on Titan. They did The Great Pretender. And what's going on with this remake that they're doing is it's going to be a reproduction of One Piece's East Blue Saga, which is their introductory episodes. And One Piece has already done a bunch of takes on this. You know, there's the original anime version, there's the manga version, there's a movie version of East Blue, and there's even been the recent live-action Netflix adaptation, which does East Blue. So this will be the 5th version of that story, which some people are like, why do we need to be doing this again? Isn't there better things that we could be spending budget and time and production on? And I think a lot of this has to do with the live-action One Piece, that Netflix is producing the One Piece, and clearly they're just trying to play into this success that they're having to get more bang for their buck and to get as much as they can out of this property. But the dangers of doing something like that is if you just get too much One Piece going on at once, you can kind of overwhelm the audience, you can burn people out, and that's not always the best approach. You know, more of something isn't always a good thing. And, you know, there are some anime remakes that are kind of the pinnacle of what you can do with this. There's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Hunter x Hunter, and these are great remakes because they took the time to kind of see what didn't work in the original and really do the source material justice. And the inverse of that is you have remakes like Dragon Ball Z Kai and Sailor Moon Crystal. These are remakes that, you know, try to stick closer to the original manga version. Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon, they both have a lot of filler, which is like anime original content that wasn't part of the original story. These remakes get rid of that. They try to stick closer to the original manga designs. But what's interesting is these shows aren't as popular because people have kind of realized that that filler, even though it's irrelevant on some level, is kind of what gave these shows their personality and voice in the first place. And those might not be the episodes that people always rewatch, but they really help build the voice for those shows. So Dragon Ball Z Kai and Sailor Moon Crystal kind of just seem more dead. You know, they don't have the same energy and enthusiasm. And ironically enough, One Piece is a show that's dense in filler. It would make a lot of sense to do a more condensed version of it, but East Blue is not the way to go with that. You know, there's not a ton of filler in East Blue, and it's not what makes the most sense. Another reason that this remake is kind of ruffling feathers is there are shows that could genuinely benefit from an anime remake. There's shows like Berserk, The Promised Neverland, Flame of Recca, Yu Yu Hakusho. These are anime that aren't exactly bad, but they don't do their source material manga justice. And if people just watch the anime, they might not have the best representation of what the show is really doing. These are shows that deserve another chance and could actually do more with that opportunity than what's going on with One Piece now. So it should be very interesting to see how the One Piece is received. Maybe it'll surpass expectations and really become a new trend, but as it stands, people are kind of reluctant to get on board with this, and we'll continue to cover details about it as more come out, but at the moment, it's interesting to see how all of this One Piece love is kind of turning against the fandom and ruffling feathers in a way that people might not have expected.